Hi, I'm Nick Wong, the Executive Director of the Maritime Association of South Carolina, and I want to welcome you to our 2021 annual meeting. Today we'll celebrate our partners and stakeholders who support maritime commerce in one of our country's great port states. We'll also hear our year review, and we'll celebrate the accomplishments and achievements of individuals, organizations, and partner agencies in our maritime community. And while doing so, we'll follow the journey of a product from ship to home. As you will see, our members are integral in that journey, and we're all connected.
Alexa, order more paper.
Okay, I ordered more paper.
Every few seconds, a new supply chain is kicked off in South Carolina. Whether you climb into the cab of a truck, step onto a ship, roll on the rails, or fly in the sky, we're all connected. Who has made South Carolina one of the fastest growing economies in our country? You have. Together, each of us play a vital role in our state's maritime and logistics industry. Because of you, our state has become a global player. Manufacturing companies worldwide are expanding to South Carolina because they know they can count on us to deliver their products reliably and on time, no matter what. We are the men and women of the maritime and logistics industry. We are on the move, and together we get the job done because we're all connected.
That was a great video, wasn't it? Before we get into our program, I want to take a moment to recognize our members who are the heart and soul of the Maritime Association. They and our key sponsors made today's program possible. At this time, I would like to introduce Jim Newsome, the President and CEO of the South Carolina Ports Authority and our presenting sponsor.
Greetings from the Wando Terminal. I'm Jim Newsome, CEO of the South Carolina Ports Authority. It's a great day here at the Wando Terminal. We have 3 ships working and we're doing a lot of exciting things in the port. We're at the tail end of really 6 years of infrastructure expenditure where we've positioned our port to handle 4 14,000 TEU ships at one time, open a new container terminal, deepen our harbor, and increase our rail volume eventually. So a lot of good stuff going on that I'm very, very proud of. We've been very lucky here in the port. We were an essential industry, as you have seen from what you read and see on the news. When people had to stay home and not take trips and not go to restaurants and not go to football games, they stayed home and bought things. So our volume is doing very, very well. We're having a strong December and January. We think that's going to continue through this fiscal year. And actually our latest forecast for our board is that we'll handle a record container volume in fiscal 2021. So from really doom and gloom when the pandemic started until the situation today, I'm very, very enthused by that and very, very happy with what we're doing. It's critical that we have a strong maritime association. I'm very, very proud of having Nick Wong on board. As you all know, we have a lot of asks, of the state and of our community. We coexist with a great community in terms of, a lot of busy truck traffic and things of that nature relative to a really pretty city that we live in. So we have to work together. I think it's important for us to realize that the greater Charleston maritime community is close to 10,000 people. They just don't see all of us under one brand name like they do at Boeing or BMW or places like that, but we are a significant force. And we really look to the Maritime Association to pull all that together, to give us one voice, to unify us in terms of how we portray and give key messages to our community here. That's an important role. Obviously we compete for resources with other entities in the state, and it's important that our message is heard. So I couldn't be more proud of the Maritime Association. I couldn't be more hopeful for what it can deliver in the future. And I think you all know from any membership organization, it's only as good as the members and the commitment of the members to the organization. So I'm excited about our future. We're going to open a new terminal here in March of 2021. That hasn't happened in this country since 2009. Really a great accomplishment. If you look at all the steps that go into doing something like that, you think that we permitted that terminal, asked for a permit in 2003, got the permit in 2007, and we're opening in 2021. So it's really amazing. Proud time to be in the port. Everybody worked really seamlessly through the pandemic. We never lost a day of work here due to the commitment of the maritime community. So the port employees showed up, the ILA employees showed up, the truck drivers showed up, the tugs, the pilots, everybody came day in and day out, wore their masks when they needed to, followed instructions, and the result of that is that our customers got a reliable supply chain. So future's bright. Let's hang in there together, and please support the Maritime Association of South Carolina.
Thank you, Jim. I'm now proud to introduce the chairman of the board, Jeff McWhorter, who will give our annual review and introduce the board of directors for 2021. Before I turn it over to Jeff, I want to publicly acknowledge that today marks his last day for his term as chairman of the board. I want to publicly thank Jeff for his service and dedication to the Maritime Association, particularly through these unprecedented times. Through your engaging leadership, you make sure that the Maritime Association is well prepared for success in the future.
Thank you, Nick. Good morning, and thank you for joining us today. I would like to begin by thanking the association staff, Nick, Brandy, and Stacy, as well as the events committee for putting this program together and continuously demonstrating to our membership the dedication and resiliency of the Maritime Association of South Carolina. Thank you. Since we did not have our annual meeting last year due to COVID, I want to make sure I thank the board of directors and the executive committees who have served over the past 2 years. I would also like to thank Heather Holmquist for her past leadership. Thank you. And welcome to the new board of directors for 2021, including 5 new members: Reggie Reeves, Kathleen Buckley, Robert Stelling, Don Robinson, and Kathleen Isola. Thank you for your willingness to serve. Your executive committee for 2021 will be comprised of Andrew Cannon of Tyco, who will serve as secretary, Angela Dyer of Truist Bank, who will serve as treasurer, Radley Kerr of Denton's Shipyards, who will be the vice chair, and Margie Hardwick of OOCL, who will serve as our new board chair. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you, Jessica Sage, for your service and leadership in your role as past chair. And thank you to the nominations committee led by Jessica for putting together a very capable board and executive committee for 2021. Today we celebrate our accomplishments over the past 2 years and our commitment to moving forward as an association and as a community during these difficult and unprecedented times. This has only been possible through the hard work and dedication of our staff, our membership, and our board. There have been many accomplishments that were the result of everyone's involvement, and some of those were the implementation of a unified maritime collaborative, the Waterfront Collective, which is comprised of the Maritime Association of South Carolina, the Propeller Club of Charleston, the Charleston Motor Carriers Association, Charleston Women in International Trade, and the Custom Brokers and Freight Forwarders Association. We've hired a new executive director, Nick Wong, a retired Coast Guard commander. We formed the Harbor Safety Committee, bringing together representatives from both commercial and recreational boating to protect the safety of our waterways. We've implemented an association group health insurance program, McGriff, with which our members are already recognizing significant benefits and savings. The establishment of new multi-year strategic goals and objectives have been set for the association, and a new website platform to enhance member communications and collaboration. It's an especially important tool during these times while many of us are working remotely. We also have a low-cost and free media agency services program. Denton's Shipyards has utilized this program and was able to increase the number of employment applications they received by over 200% in just 60 days. And of course, our monthly NavOps meetings and chat and chew sessions continue to be informative and well attended. I would like to recognize our sponsors for those events, Wells Fargo and SunTrust, which is now Truist Banks. The association's membership continues to grow and thrive in an industry where we have an estimated $29 billion member-specific economic impact. I would also like to highlight several accomplishments among our membership and within the maritime community. We have a new captain of the port, Captain John Cole. Harbor deepening is on schedule. The Hugh Leatherman Terminal and port access roads are nearing completion. And I'm especially happy to report that Palmetto Railways received the Federal Railroad Administration Record of Decision for the Navy-based intermodal facility and secured funding to complete the North Lead. We anticipate the remainder of the project will be funded this year. Palmetto Railways also secured permitting for the from the Surface Transportation Board for the Camp Hall Industrial Rail Project. SunTrust and BB&T merged to form Truist Bank. Truist Bank donated $1 million to Trident College for commercial driver training and to commence renovations of Trident Tech's Berkeley campus to support the transportation and logistics industry. We saw 3 stevedoring companies successfully merge into one, Charleston Stevedoring Company. We've had 2 plastics packaging companies located in Charleston. Frontier Logistics and A&R Packaging have established new facilities in the area. Trucking companies cannot find enough drivers to keep up with the high demand. I say all that to say that the maritime community is strong, our business is strong, and the Maritime Association of South Carolina is strong. Going forward, we strive to deepen and strengthen our partnerships with our stakeholders, local, state, and federal agencies, and with our political leaders, especially those that support the maritime industry. We should also work to expand opportunities for our membership to become involved in the association and empower our members to be industry ambassadors in our communities. Thank you very much for your support over the past 2 years. It has been an honor to serve as your chair. I'm confident Margie Hardwick and the new board of directors, along with Nick, Brandy, and Stacy, will take us to the next level, whatever that may be. Thank you, and I wish everyone good health and success. Back to you, Nick.
Hey everyone, I'm here with Mark from ATS Logistics, and we're on our way to Sunland Logistics. When we get there, we'll present our Maritime Association of South Carolina annual award winners to some of our great maritime leaders in our community.
2020 was an extremely challenging year for all of us in the maritime industry. There was a couple of things that really stuck out to me. The first was that our industry truly is essential. The movement of goods, especially by maritime, cannot slow down or stop for any reason. The second was that keeping connections and communicating was really difficult, and it was through the efforts of the Maritime Association of South Carolina with all of their online events, their meetings, and even in-person events when it was safe, really led to us to stay connected with our friends and coworkers. I'd like to congratulate all of this year's award winners, and I look forward to connecting with them and all of the members of the Maritime Association in 2021.
Hi, my name is Gus Olalere with Cornerstone Financial, and I'm a proud member of the Maritime Association of South Carolina. The influence and the importance of our maritime community here in the Low Country is enormous. I invite everyone, especially the many business owners we have in the Low Country area, to join and be a part of the Maritime Association. It's beneficial to not just our tri-community here, but the entire region.
Welcome back. I'm excited to present our annual awards for each of our 5 categories and present a new category for outstanding volunteerism. Our first award is the Emerging Leader Award, and presenting the award is Mike Hedgepath with Southeastern Freight Lines.
On behalf of Southeastern Freight Lines, I am honored to announce the winners of the Emerging Leader Award. The Emerging Leader Award is presented to an individual in the maritime community who rises up among peers, demonstrating exceptional passion and leadership within their own organization and across the community. The 2020 Emerging Leader Award goes to Ms. Elizabeth Hills, Charleston Branch Pilots.
Elizabeth Hills joined the Charleston Branch Pilots Association in early 2017 as Corporate Affairs Manager. Elizabeth wears many hats with the pilots, and primarily serves as a liaison between the association and various maritime industries, including the Coast Guard, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and the State Ports Authority. She also attends weekly meetings with the Post 45 project dredging contractors. Elizabeth helps facilitate communications within the organization and relays pertinent information to pilots and employees regarding harbor activity. She is also responsible for human resources for the Pilots Association and their 44 employees. Elizabeth grew up in eastern North Carolina, graduated from Darlington School in Rome, Georgia, and holds a bachelor's degree in English literature from the College of Charleston and has lived in Charleston for 22 years. Before joining the pilots, she spent 14 years in the retail and outside sales sector. Elizabeth is an active member of the Charleston Propeller Club, serves as a communication chair on the CWIT board, and is a board member of the Low Country Maritime School and the South Carolina International Trade Conference. She is a volunteer with Charleston Waterkeeper and has also served as a committee member for the Maritime Association and Charleston Sister Cities International. Elizabeth was nominated as a Port Ambassador for the State Ports Authority and completed the program for the 2017-2018 season. Elizabeth's strong belief in giving back to her community is a major component of how she defines success and is among the most rewarding aspects of both her personal and professional life. Elizabeth is a home cook and an avid traveler, reader, and photographer, and enjoys an active lifestyle with lots of time on the water with her husband, Gervais, and their adopted dog, Deacon.
In my career and in my personal life, I like to fly under the radar, to keep my head down, to do my work, and to move forward relatively unnoticed. I enjoy a good collaboration, but never really thought of myself as a leader. So when I heard that I was nominated for the Maritime Association's Emerging Leader Award in 2020, I was quite shocked but very grateful to be recognized. There are a few things I've learned over the last few years which have contributed to success in my position, and I'd like to share them with you. Number 1, surround yourself with greatness. It's easy to look like you've got it all figured out when Whit Smith has your back. Number 2, practice gratitude. I am so thankful for the guidance of mentors, industry leaders, strong women who lift one another up, and for industry friends who have become like family to me. Number 3, say yes often, but respect the value of saying no and learn when to use it. I have learned that exhaustion does not bode well for being productive. Take care of yourself first, always. Number 4, appreciate the importance of asking, what do you do, versus, how do you make a difference? From Charleston Women in International Trade to the American Heart Association and the Low Country Maritime School, I'm so proud to work for a company like the Pilots who give back to their community so generously. Number 5, stay humble. Humility is the key to being successful. If you don't know everything or even anything, that's okay. Be quiet and listen, and you'll learn something, especially if you're sitting next to John Cameron. To share your weakness is to make yourself vulnerable, and to do so is to show your strength. Work hard and be nice to people. Kindness and service will get you everywhere. I'd like to sincerely thank the Maritime Association for this honor, and I look forward to seeing everyone soon.
The Charleston Pilots would like to congratulate all the winners of the Maritime Association Awards for 2020 and 2021. We're particularly proud of our own Elizabeth Hills, our Corporate Affairs Manager. Congratulations, Elizabeth, and all the winners.
The 2021 Emerging Leader Award goes to Lieutenant Chad Ray, U.S. Coast Guard Sector Charleston.
Lieutenant Chad Ray serves as the Chief of the Waterways Management Division at Sector Charleston, South Carolina. The Waterways Management Division safeguards the Sector Charleston captain of the port zone by minimizing personal injuries and the damage or loss of property associated with vessel and commercial waterways activity with 370 miles of coastline and major inland commerce routes. In this capacity, Lieutenant Ray fosters close partnerships with the marine industry and local, state, and federal agencies, ensuring navigation safety within Sector Charleston's area of responsibility for a myriad of operations and marine events. Additionally, Lieutenant Ray oversees the Aids to Navigation mission, which consists of one inland construction tender, Coast Guard cutter Anvil, and 3 aids to navigation teams: Ant Charleston, Ant Georgetown, and Ant Tybee. These aids to navigation units are responsible for the aids to navigation constellation, which consists of over 1,500 aids spanning more than 370 nautical miles of intercoastal waterway and throughout the ports of Charleston, Savannah, and Brunswick. Notable contributions include his inaugural position as the Executive Secretary of the Charleston Area Harbor Safety Committee. Lieutenant Ray hails from Dallas, Texas, and is a 2010 graduate of the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy in Kings Point, New York, where he earned a bachelor's degree in logistics and intermodal transportation, a U.S. Merchant Mariner's officer endorsement, and a commission in our United States Coast Guard. His career over the past 10 years has taken him to field tours in San Diego, California, New York, and most recently Charleston, South Carolina, as of the summer of 2019. Lieutenant Ray is passionate to serve our country alongside the great men and women of the United States Coast Guard. He enjoys travel and leading an active lifestyle with his loving wife, Ev, and their hound, Old MacDonald.
Thank you, and thank you to the Maritime Association of South Carolina. You know, the Coast Guard prides itself on empowering their junior leaders, and I'd like to thank my command at Coast Guard Sector Charleston for giving me the opportunity to work on so many meaningful projects. It was really the hard work of our prevention department, our waterways management division, and our aids to navigation branch that made so many of our endeavors this past year successful. Thank you. I'd also like to thank our federal, state, and local partnerships, to include United States Army Corps of Engineers, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, South Carolina Port Authorities, Charleston Branch Pilots Association, and South Carolina's Department of Natural Resources, DNR. And as you know, military members, we tend to move around a lot. So I'd like to personally thank the community of Charleston for offering such a low country welcome for my family and I, and really providing a platform to work on such, like I said, meaningful projects that impact not only the port, but the city of Charleston and the state of South Carolina. And finally, I have to thank my beautiful wife, Evelyn, for her unwavering support and endless patience. Thank you.
Lieutenant Ray, on behalf of Aids Navigation Team Tybee Island, congratulations on receiving the Maritime Association of South Carolina's 2021 Emerging Leadership Award. Congratulations, LT.
Hi, my name is Bo Mitchell and I'm with Team Fun. We love the Maritime Association because they bring the community together. Particularly in Charleston, they're also helping improve local industries and bring in new citizens to live in the city and grow and create new business for everyone associated with MASC. Thank you.
Our next award is the Maritime Advocate of the Year, and presenting the award is our immediate past chair, Ms. Jessica Sage of Charleston Rigging and Marine Hardware.
On behalf of Charleston's Rigging and Marine Hardware, I have the pleasure of presenting the Maritime Advocates awardees for 2020 and 2021. The Maritime Advocates Award is presented to the person or organization outside of the maritime transportation industry for outstanding efforts in support of the maritime transportation industry. A good idea and a solid execution is a recipe for success, and CMMC is a great example of that. Fast forward to what the Navy Yard is now, and it houses some of the greatest companies of all time: Moran McAllister Towing, Denton Shipyard, Neal Brothers, Carver Maritime, Palmetto Rail, and the GOAT in perpetuity, Charleston's Rigging and Marine Hardware. CMMC has preserved the industrial space on the waterfront where our businesses can thrive, which is critical to our economic impact and vitality. Maintaining part of Charleston's naval history, cultivating all sorts of maritime commerce, and being next door to the South Carolina Port's new HLT is perhaps the greatest idea ever. Well done, and congratulations, CMMC, our Maritime Advocate for 2020.
When we found out about base closure, we all were very panicked about what was going to happen, losing 7,000 civilian employees. In dealing with Danny and Dick, it was their ability to see to the future and their willingness to invest at a risk to help make the Navy base have its vitality again, to try to contribute to the community.
When I got a phone call from Danny Rowland, and then he said, I need you to do something for me. I need you to finance the purchase of the base for me.
We talked about it, and she said, I'll figure a way to make it work.
All we had was some napkins, and I said, well, here's what we can do. Spelling out on the napkins how sort of the direction in which this thing could go. That sort of lined up what the fundamental plan was, the concept. Then the details become easy.
I can't imagine this is really the way that most landlord-tenant relationships operate, because Dick and Danny are not focused purely on today's rent. It is a much bigger, much more holistic view that they take of their tenant relationships.
They're more of mentors to us. Since day one, they've been giving us advice, helping us kind of see the bigger picture, not just from the space that we're in, but also just business in general.
What was really impressive to me was that the team at CMMC came to us and asked us what we wanted, what would be, in a perfect world, what would you like to get? And they were really accommodating in that process. So that was really, really a refreshing experience.
I mean, this is the place to be. This is like, for a creative, small manufacturing or design type business, I mean, this is just, it's like a melting pot up here. It's a community of like-minded people that all kind of are in the same spot. And it's just such a cool industrial atmosphere, with the ships and everything, since it's still an active shipyard. It's a great place to work.
The Navy base has been part of our community for years. We've seen it evolve through different phases, and to be part of its future in the Navy Yard is very exciting.
Thank you, Jessica. In 1993, three men got together and decided they were going to take over a 100-year-old naval shipyard. That took a lot of vision and a questionable dose of courage. But since then, it's been an exciting, sometimes treacherous adventure. But CMMC has always remained focused on supporting the Lowcountry's maritime, manufacturing, and logistics industries. It is an honor to stand here and accept this award on behalf of so many people. But a special thank you to those three men, Dick Gregory, Danny Rowland, and Loy Stewart Sr. And a special thank you to the Maritime Association of South Carolina. The maritime industry's history is rich, and I believe with a little vision and a healthy dose of courage, our future is bright. Thank you.
Congratulations from Arco Design Build to the award winners for this year of the Maritime Association of South Carolina. Woohoo!
For our 2021 Maritime Advocate Award, the winner is Kyle Ward. Folks, Kyle Ward is the man. Science is the new sexy, and Kyle Ward is representing South Carolina well. As a NOAA Regional Navigational Manager, he was instrumental in several key initiatives aimed to improve navigational safety, not only in Charleston, but in several East Coast ports, including Savannah, Jacksonville, and Miami. Some of his local efforts over the past years have resulted in the creation of a new scale chart for the Charleston Harbor approach. He also worked on a detailed Charleston Channel sonar mapping and depth study that provided high-resolution bathymetry of the shipping channel. Mr. Ward was also instrumental in the Don Holt Air Gap Exchange study and installation. He also serves as a key member of NOAA's post-hurricane recovery team, assisting the United States Coast Guard to prepare emergency response capabilities during ensuring the reliability of our maritime transportation system. We are very lucky to have him as part of our community and proud to spotlight him as our 2021 awardee. Well done, Mr. Ward, and congratulations as our Maritime Advocate.
Thank you, Jessica.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. This really means so much to me to receive the Maritime Advocate Award. Working for NOAA, I'm really the only Coast Survey employee down here in this area. Everybody else is up in Washington, D.C., and I really do feel my duty is to be an advocate for this area and to get the resources that are needed down here. All the time making sure the chart is up to date and having the new chart put together, and also during those hurricanes. But really, I just want to thank the Maritime Association for being such a great avenue for me to get to know everybody here. I was reminiscing when I came down here 10 years ago. The Maritime Association was the vehicle to meet everybody, and it still is that today. And I really can't wait to get together once this COVID is all behind us and be able to have our in-person meetings again. I'm really looking forward to that. So thank you everyone that's out there and that's watching. Look forward to being with you again soon. Thank you.
Congratulations to the Maritime Association of South Carolina award recipients on behalf of Palmetto Subsea Inspections.
Our next award is the Beacon Award, and presenting the award is Bill Bean of the South Carolina Stevedores Association.
On behalf of the South Carolina Stevedores Association, I'm honored to announce the winners of the Beacon Award. The Beacon Award is presented to a person in recognition of a career of distinguished service to the South Carolina maritime community and related industries. The 2020 Beacon Award goes to Paul Ferry, Charleston Stevedore & Company.
Paul Ferry is the general manager of Charleston Stevedore & Company, LLC. Beginning his career on the waterfront as a boarding agent and stevedore trainee with Eller Company in 1979, he has enjoyed a career entirely dedicated to the waterfront. Paul has served as stevedore foreman for Palmetto Shipping, Savannah Port Manager of stevedoring for Palmetto of Georgia, Charleston Port Manager with Seaco, and then joined SSA Cooper, now Atlantic, where he started as Assistant Port Manager of stevedoring. Throughout his service to SSA, Paul has been CFS Manager, General Superintendent, Assistant Vice President of South Carolina Operations, and now continues his service as Vice President of South Carolina Operations. Paul shares his passion for the industry via service to organizations across the waterfront, including the South Carolina Stevedores Association, the ILA Waterfront Employers Pension and Welfare Fund, Charleston Gate Company, and the Maritime Association of South Carolina as a board member. Paul enjoys spending his time with his wife, Gail, and their 3 children, Allison, Brian, and Kelly, and son-in-law, Nate, and 1 granddaughter, Emilia Marie. Paul and Gail are natives of Charleston, where both graduated from the College of Charleston. He enjoys music and cooking in his free time.
Thanks, Bill. It's indeed an honor to receive the Beacon Award. I'm actually humbled when I look at the list of people who have won it in the past. It's quite a distinguished list, and I'm very proud to be part of it. Thank you.
Congratulations from McGriff Insurance to the Maritime Association of South Carolina award winners.
The 2021 Beacon Award posthumously goes to Mr. Loy Stewart Sr., Denton Shipyard. Accepting on his behalf is his son, Loy Stewart Jr.
Thank you, Bill. I want to thank the Maritime Association of South Carolina for honoring my dad with such a special award. I would just wished he was here to accept it. Unfortunately, his life was taken too quick with COVID, but I know he's watching out for us. Since starting at Denton Shipyards in the early 70s, my dad was always about two things: helping people and improving the industry. Like a beacon, it always gives us something to aim for, and that's what I'm aiming for. Thank you again to the Maritime Association, and stay safe.
When we return, we'll be introducing the winners of the Legislator of the Year Award.
Congratulations from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of South Carolina to the Maritime Association of South Carolina award members.
Our next award is the Legislator of the Year Award, and presenting the award is Jeff McWhorter of Palmetto Railways.
On behalf of the Maritime Association of South Carolina, I am honored to announce the winners of the Legislator of the Year Award. The Legislator of the Year Award is presented to a legislator who has demonstrated support for South Carolina's port-related industries and the business community that depends on them. The 2020 Legislator of the Year Award goes to Jay Lucas, Speaker of the South Carolina House of Representatives.
Growing up in the small rural town of Hartsville, House Speaker James H. J. Lucas never dreamed that life's path would take him where he is today. Born to Bobby and Shirley Lucas, Jay's parents instilled in him the importance of personal responsibility and value of motivation, traits that have provided a firm foundation for his life in public service. Jay received his bachelor's degree in political science from the University of South Carolina in 1975, graduating Phi Beta Kappa. He also received a master's degree in public administration in 1981. Upon graduation, Jay went to work as a financial director for the city of Bennettsville prior to working as a county administrator for Fairfield County. Jay received his law degree from the University of South Carolina in 1987, where he graduated third in his class and was the managing editor of the South Carolina Law Review. He served as the Darlington County Attorney and a city judge for the city of Hartsville before becoming a partner with Lucas, War, and White in 1994. Jay was elected to the South Carolina House of Representatives in 1999 to serve District 65, which currently represents portions of Darlington, Kershaw, Lancaster, and Chesterfield counties. In November 2010, his colleagues in the House elected him as Speaker pro tempore. While serving this position, Jay was provided the opportunity to become Speaker of the House and has proudly served as Speaker since 2014. Jay is married to Tracy Ann Degelman, and they have one son, Will, who graduated from the Virginia Military Institute and earned a master's degree from North Carolina State University.
Thank you to the Maritime Association of South Carolina. I am truly honored to be the 2020 recipient of your Legislator of the Year award. The award is beautiful and proudly hanging here in my office in Columbia, South Carolina. I'm glad to be able to finally join y'all, at least virtually, to express my gratitude. The Maritime Association of South Carolina contributes to the growth and success of our many port-related businesses across our state. Your mission is a vital one to South Carolina, and I look forward to continuing to work together for the betterment of our great state. Thank you again for this wonderful award.
The 2021 Legislator of the Year award goes to Senator Tim Scott.
Growing up in a poor, single-parent household in North Charleston, South Carolina, a young Tim Scott grew accustomed to moving every few years, as well as the long hours his mom worked to keep a roof over their heads. After failing 4 classes his freshman year in high school, Tim's path forward was murky at best. But thankfully, he had a mom who stuck with him and met a mentor who showed him the wisdom of conservative principles. Through their belief and his determination, Tim got his grades back on track, graduated from Charleston Southern University, and eventually built his own successful small business. Through the lessons taught by his mentor, Tim developed his mission statement: to positively affect the lives of 1 billion people. That led him to public service, where he was elected to Charleston County Council, the South Carolina House of Representatives, the United States House of Representatives, and the United States Senate. Since joining the Senate in 2013, Senator Scott has been a national leader on efforts to bring opportunity to every American family. His signature legislation creating opportunity zones was passed as part of the 2017 tax reform package and has the potential to bring billions of dollars of private investment into distressed communities across the country. As he continues to lead on the implementation of the Opportunity Zones initiative, Senator Scott also plays a critical role in issues regarding workforce development, education, and diversity. Whether it's tackling the skills gap, making sure children have access to the educational environment best suited for them, or working to bring everyone to the table to find solutions, Senator Scott will keep fighting for South Carolinians every single day he serves in the United States Senate.
Hello, Maritime Association. I am honored and humbled to be named your 2021 Legislator of the Year. I should be the one recognizing you for your great strength and resiliency even during this pandemic. You all keep South Carolina's economy humming with thousands of jobs. And with the Harbor Deepening Project happening in Charleston, I have no doubt that our state will continue to see growth in all areas thanks to all your hard work and advocacy for this important industry.
When we return, we'll introduce the winners of the John Haas Award and introduce our newest annual award.
I'm with GEL Engineering. I'm Geofrey Lewis and I've been a member many years and really enjoy supporting the industry. We do a lot of work along the waterfront and with the ports, and it's a great organization, and the maritime community is alive and well. Thank you.
And presenting the John Haas Award is Jim Newsome, CEO of the South Carolina Ports Authority.
So it's a great privilege today for me to introduce the recipient of the 2020 John Hassel Award, who is Dave Posick, who's the Vice Chairman of the South Carolina Ports Authority. Criteria for the John Hassel Award is sustained distinguished leadership in the field of commerce, of international commerce, and exhibition of vision, integrity, and loyalty. Dave certainly meets and exceeds all of those criteria. Dave Posick has been on the board since 2005. He's been 15 years on our board, been vice chairman, chairman, I was on the search committee when I was hired. I had the good privilege of meeting Dave and Bill Stern in 2008, and I can tell you for sure that I would not have joined the port had I not been so impressed by their leadership and capabilities. Dave has a long business career, both in General Electric and in Lockheed Martin. He's an engineer by training. Brings a lot of business acumen to the port. You know, our board is instrumental in giving us guidance. They do a lot of that behind the scenes, really. They let the staff really be out in front of the public. But their guidance is invaluable. Their leadership has been just, transformational to our success today. So I don't think that the Maritime Association could have chosen any better in giving this 2020 John Hassel Award to Dave Posick. And I would also say that it's a great honor to give an award named after John Hassel, who was also on our board and a really great leader in the port and the maritime community here. So Dave.
Well, thank you, Jim, for those kind words. It's been a true pleasure to work with you and your team and the rest of the board over the last decade. 15 years ago, I was asked by Governor Sanford to serve on the State Ports Authority Board of Directors. And at the time, I had never met the governor, and he asked if we could get together and meet each other. I had just retired from 40 years of working for General Electric and Lockheed, and we met at the Ryan's Cafeteria outside Spartanburg, South Carolina, and we talked. He asked if I would serve on the board of directors dealing with shipping in and out of the state of South Carolina. I asked him if he knew that I had just spent the last 40 years of my career in the aerospace industry dealing with airplanes and spacecraft, and that I really didn't know very much about ships. He smiled and said what he really wanted was for me to bring my management expertise and good judgment to help guide the port into the future. I said yes. That's what I've been trying to do for the last 15 years. I have always said that there are some major items that a board must get correct in overseeing any business, including the Port of South Carolina. And they include, but not limited to, budget reviews, capital plans, executive pay. But at the top of the list is picking a new CEO when needed. You will all remember that back in 2008 and 9, we were faced with just that task. The fact was we were losing business, shipping lines were considering leaving, our CEO had just resigned, and we were on the verge of becoming a second port. At the time, I was chairman of the board and Bill Stern was vice chairman. I asked Bill to head a search committee to find our next CEO, and the good Lord looked down on us, and we were able to hire Jim Newsome. The rest is history. It has been a true honor to work with our board, Jim and his team at the port. Watching progress that the port has made over this last 10 years, we are back. This progress is the result of Jim's leadership, but it could not have happened without support and teamwork from the entire maritime community. Everyone plays a role: the ILA, the trucking community, the shippers, the freight forwarders, and down the line. Because of your hard work, the Port of Charleston remains the chief economic driver in the state, and it has been fun to watch. Let me end with one short story, on that day in 2009 when we were faced with our CEO resigning before we had selected Jim as our leader. I remember sitting at the board table, looking around and at the members, and I said, what do we do now? We needed someone as an interim leader while we looked for a permanent person. There was really only one person at the table at that time that had the background and experience to take on the task, and he immediately raised his hand and took on the task, and it was John Hassel. I am extremely proud to accept this award, not only because what it means to the maritime community, but also it is named after my fellow board member and friend, John Hassel. Thank you very much. Now I've got the pleasure to do one more thing. I'd now like to turn attention to Jim and introduce him as the 2021 recipient of the John Hassel Award. I'm honored to introduce Jim Newsome, given the fact that I was around when I hired Jim in 2009. As I mentioned in my earlier remarks, based on 2009, we were in terrible position, volumes dropping, our president resigning, customers leaving, but we were very lucky to convince Jim Newsome to take over as president and CEO of the Ports Authority. And how's that worked out? I call Jim the reinventor, a new terminal, deepest harbor in the East Coast, upgraded Wando terminal, reorganized top talented workforce, new headquarters building, world-class intermodal centers, and a 7.8% growth rate per year for the last 10 years. Top of the top 10 ports in the country. It's pretty important to pick the right leader. Jim spent his entire career in the life of shipping. He grew up in Savannah. His dad was head of the operations at Garden City for over 25 years. He spent 30 years in the shipping industry before coming to our port, 10 years as executive VP at Netloyd, 10 years as president of Hapag-Lloyd America, then joining us at the port in September of 2009. Jim spent his career in the shipping industry, and he brings world knowledge and expertise to the job. He has an MBS and an MBA in logistics and transportation from the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, and too many awards and honors to mention. He's married to Kathy. They have 2 children, a boy and a girl, and 2 grandkids. It is my true honor to turn it over to the port leader in the country, Mr. Jim Newsome.
Well, thanks very much, Dave. It's thanks for your leadership as being on our board for 15 years and for actually hiring me into this job at the port, which has been a great opportunity. It's a distinct honor to receive the 2021 John Hassel Award. Any award named after John Hassel is special. John has been a great leader in the maritime community here for many years. Was instrumental really in my transition here. He was the interim leader of the port for 9 years, for 9 months rather, as Dave covered, and certainly gave me a good running start by doing that. And he and Jane were very gracious to Kathy and I in welcoming us to Charleston and making us feel at home. It really seems like these 11 years have passed by very quickly. We've accomplished so very much in the port together. It's a team sport. It's not an individual sport. It's really way more than about me. It's about the entire maritime community. We've been able to double our volume in 10 years' time. We've built significant and world-class infrastructure, which really sets us apart from even most of the ports in the country today. So it's a tremendous accomplishment, a lot of investment, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get where we are today. But if I think about the importance of what we do, it really takes me back a bit to my past, my growing up in Savannah, and realizing that in port towns like Savannah and Charleston, there are many generations that have worked on the waterfront. Waterfront work is good work, and it's one of the things that sets us apart in Charleston. If you go down the waterfront here, you see multiple generations, be it in the ILA, be it in the port, be it in trucking, that have made a good living on this waterfront. And our challenge, and really one of the core missions of the maritime community and Maritime Association, is to stick together, to be cohesive, and to make sure that we provide good work in the future for many more generations in the maritime community. And that will be the real hallmark of our success if we're able to do that. We're on a good track to do that now. I'm as proud as I am as what we've accomplished. I'm really excited about our future because our future is very, very bright. And that's because of each and every one of you. Close to 10,000 people, I would say, that work in the maritime community in the greater Charleston area. Not all under one name, not all under one brand, but working together to provide the best product in the container shipping industry in the United States. So I'm very grateful to the Maritime Association for this award, and certainly, Dave, to you for your leadership and for introducing me today. Thank you very much.
What we bring in is either via truck, container, or rail. We do approximately 25 containers a day. So as you can see here, we are the paper guys. One of the advantages that we have is we're sitting on the Norfolk Southern Yard. And so the paper industry loves us because obviously we can get good service from Norfolk Southern. We can get a switch every day. We can actually get 2 switches a day if we really needed to.
We have a long-term experienced team here. The least term person I've had is 3 years, on up to my term, 18 years, and that's key. I mean, you really have to have that momentum, build that momentum, and get that consistency.
I got involved about 8 years ago with Maritime and knew at that time when I started into the meetings and getting involved with the Maritime that it was important to be there because of the associations that I got to have, and meeting people that I had no idea were here in this area, finding companies that I had not dealt with before that could actually help me in what I do here, and getting to know them better, knowing what they do, and we've actually ended up working together to help each other to be a part of this community and working with each other to know what we do best.
And our latest and greatest award is the Billy Adams Award for Outstanding Volunteerism. And presenting this is Kathleen Buckley of the American College of the Building Arts.
Each year, the Maritime Association will recognize one outstanding volunteer who stands out for his or her leadership and contributions. On behalf of the American College of the Building Arts, I am honored to announce the Maritime Association South Carolina's newest award, the Billy Adams Outstanding Volunteer Award. The criteria selection includes volunteerism leadership and serving as a positive example to others while advancing the mission of the association. I've known Billy since 2011 when I came onto the Maritime Association Events Committee, and he's been a dear friend. Sadly, we lost him last summer and wanted to find a way to honor all of his volunteerism he gave to the Maritime Association over the years. He was always ready to roll his sleeve up and help whenever anything needed to be done. He was just amazing. Billy's children weren't able to be here today and sent this message for me to pass along on behalf of the Adams. We are honored that the Maritime Association has chosen to name the Volunteer Award in memory of our dad. He loved nothing more than helping with event planning, cooking, and coaching, amongst many things. He was always eager to pitch in at a moment's notice and delighted in sharing a good time, a great story, and a hearty laugh. He cherished his waterfront family just as we cherished him. He is surely beaming with pride over having this esteemed award named after him. Our deepest gratitude for remembering him in such a lovely way. John, Sarah, Aaron, and Kevin Adams.
Billy Adams served in the Georgia Air National Guard and retired as the Executive Director of South Carolina Stevedores Association. He served the Charleston waterfront community in many leadership roles and was a proud recipient of the Maritime Association of South Carolina's 2014 Beacon Award for Distinguished Service. Billy shared his love of athletics by coaching and umpiring in both Savannah and Charleston. Having never met a stranger, Billy is remembered for his southern hospitality and his love for family and friends, and his commitment to volunteering to serve the waterfront community and beyond.
I'm honored now to announce the Billy Adams Outstanding Volunteer Award posthumously goes to Jerry Baldwin. Accepting on his behalf are his wife, Martha, sons Gerald and Vincent.
As the first recipient of the Billy Adams Outstanding Volunteerism Award, integrity and service to others were the late Mr. Jerry Baldwin's cornerstone values, both personally and professionally. Long after his retirement from the Mediterranean Shipping Company, his pervasive nature had him volunteering for a wide array of initiatives and events in support of the Charleston maritime community. Personally, he established the Baldwin Supply Chain and Information Management Scholarship at the College of Charleston to assist students pursuing a career in the shipping business. Professionally, Jerry served in numerous organizations, including the Propeller Club, the Maritime Association of South Carolina, in the South Carolina International Trade Conference. Most notable was his staunch advocacy and demonstrated passion in support of the seafarer. He served as the administrator of the Charleston Port and Seafarer Society, a Christian charity organization whose purpose is to welcome and serve the needs of men and women who make their livelihood in the port or at sea. He spearheaded the Christmas at Sea, in which Jerry tirelessly collected wrapped gift care packages and delivered them to seafarers on commercial vessels calling on the port of Charleston.
Thank you, Kathleen, and thank you to the Maritime Association for recognizing my father, Jerry Baldwin, with the Billy Adams Award. On behalf of my mom, my brother, and I, it's truly an honor to accept this on his behalf. My dad loved the shipping business, and he loved serving other people. And the thing that brought him joy more than anything was helping others in the career that he loved. The smile on his face when he talked about mentoring somebody in their career, it's unforgettable. You know, when we think about service and we think about volunteering, we often think about organizations and events, the Propeller Club, the Transportation Week, Seafarers Ministry. You know, but Dad believed it was just so much simpler than that. Those organizations do a fabulous job of bringing people together, but Dad really believed that you made the most impact in those one-on-one interpersonal interactions. And I can't thank you guys enough. You know, my challenge to each of you as you go back into your communities, look around. You know, see who needs a helping hand. Put your hand out to them. It'll definitely change their life, and it'll certainly change yours. So thank you. We're honored to accept this.
Congratulations to the award winners of 2020. Well deserved. I know that we can count on you to continue supporting South Carolina in the future. OOCL is excited, and we're honored to be continuing our relationship and our partnership with the Maritime Association of South Carolina. The relationships that we've cultivated over the years with each of you have been invaluable. Your continuous support and participation in the Maritime Association will be critical in strengthening the strategic direction for 2021. So I hope that we can count on each of you. A special thanks to Jeff McWhorter for his leadership and his guidance over the last 2 years. So let's welcome 2021 and the opportunities that lie ahead.
When we return, a word from a very special guest. Born of a robust pedigree of geosynthetic excellence, Agro-America Incorporated manufactures premium geomembrane liners backed by over 30 years of experience, innovation, quality, and service. Since 1988, Georgetown, South Carolina-based Agro-America Incorporated has been the world's leading manufacturer of flat-die extrusion geomembrane liners, geonets, geocomposites, and geotextiles. Agro-America also supplies geosynthetic clay liners, concrete protective liners, vertical barrier systems, and pipe and fitting systems for the United States and international, civil, and environmental markets.
Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for letting me join you at the Maritime Association's annual meeting. As you see, it just arrived. And I want to congratulate all the award winners. As you know, our place, South Carolina, is one of the best places in the world for maritime business and all that that means. And we are fortunate to be making the great progress that we are. We have a very busy port in Charleston, another port in Georgetown, 2 inland ports in Greer and Dillon, and a new terminal coming, and also the harbor getting even deeper. Ladies and gentlemen, there's just no stopping us. And I believe that we are in a class by ourselves. And I also believe that the best is yet to come. So thank you, Maritime Association. Thank you, all of you, for the great work you're doing for the progress and the future of every South Carolinian. Thank you.